Yeah, it's a lost cause.
Is it not working?
No, they're working.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Y'all like the bunny ears for Easter that Kobe just taped to my headset?
Happy Easter. You even have the punched-in cam.
Yeah, well, it's because the AC unit's pushing it forward right now. But,
yeah,
hey, we have AC in the room now.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Kobe's not going to have sweat dripping down his back with the puffy jacket on.
Coat on. What's up, people? It's been a minute.
It has.
It's been a while. Too long.
Does it feel like Supercross is over when you have an off, like a bye week like that? Like you almost forget that Supercross is a thing.
Yeah, I'm going to have no idea. Not like I already knew what I was
talking about. It's just crazy how quick we forget about it.
But, yeah, I feel the same way.
So, for the riders, though,
for the riders,
I'm sure the riders get burnt out, but as soon as
Ken Roxon was on a cruise or something, wasn't he?
Was he?
I'm pretty sure he went on a cruise, which good for him.
Dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose your fitness in a week, and if the bike's in a good place and you just need like a mental
the opposite, dude. I feel like, yeah, he's going to come back, get on the bike, and probably feel better than ever. That's my philosophy.
I mean, Eli Tomac, I think, did an interview a while back, and like
they do ride too much, but sorry.
I mean, sometimes I think some riders do. I mean, like Cameron McAdoo just crashed out, and he dislocated his shoulder. He's having surgery, so now he's out. So now it's like this weekend it's Jet Lawrence, although he's not been good in Triple Crowns.
Historically, no.
Historically, he's not been good.
Yeah, but
anyway. Hey, we don't want to ignore everybody. Thank you for tuning in live right now if you're watching this episode. Yeah, we are going into Glendale. Triple Crown. So we're going to give some cool stats and talk about what we need to talk about. I was at Glendale last year. I won't be there this year, but
we had a Glendale last year? For some reason, it's not ringing a bell.
Remember Tomac hole shotted 2 out of 3?
It was a Triple Crown. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were trying to figure out if he was looking at the guy dropping the gate to see if he had like a little advantage.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, line
Is
gate.
This where Craig also got punted?
Yeah, by Freeze.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot happened there. Yeah, Sexton won one of those. Anderson crashed. It was good racing. So, yeah, shout out to those that are going to be there Krista was there with me.
Nice.
Yeah. I apologize. The Seattle fans, I talked to a bunch of them when I was there, but I'm not going to lie to you, dude. It was so cold that I found, like, in this little area, I found this big fireplace they had that was blowing out hot air. I didn't leave it.
Just hanging.
I would walk 10 feet to where you could see the races, and as soon as they were over, I'd immediately go back and just stand next to the fireplace. And it was the only way I could stay warm. Like, it was cold.
I don't deal with the cold well, but
Matt Moss is back for the weekend.
We got Donald saying that either one of us needs to step up and ride for PC Kawasaki.
Who?
Since Cowie is out. Donald Lucero.
Says that who needs to?
Either one of us, and that's wrong for many reasons. One,
I would die.
I don't have the riding capabilities, and two, it's a cursed bike. I don't want to die.
It is a cursed motorcycle. Is Chris Bloss? He's riding west, right? He was there with McAdoo. No,
he was east.
No. Yeah, he was east, huh?
East, yep.
Interesting. Don't forget, too, New York is in 2 weeks. So we're going to do the 20-ticket giveaway for New York. Mm-hmm. So that is coming up here. So make sure not during the live show, but after this show is over, comment down below and let us know if you can go to New York and then how many tickets you would need. And maybe you'll be one of the lucky people that gets some tickets.
Did you mention you're going to be there?
Not yet, but yes, I will. I'll fly out next Friday. I fly in. I think I get in there at like 5 or something like that, or 8. Then hanging out. Very nice, dude. I keep forgetting to have until I look at the TV screen. But, so comment below if you can make it to New York and how many tickets you would need. Remember, that is just for the race. That does not include travel. And, hey, I just talked to Not Grizz today. Man is right now.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
I hit him up and then completely forgot about it. I was like, hey, give me your number. And then I left work been working from home for like a week.
Yeah, tell the folks. Kobe's been having a rough go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, if you are designing a home, don't put your laundry room upstairs. And 2, where your laundry machine drains, I'd go home and I would check that if I were you. I'd make sure that the drain is in the drain, that's solid, that's not going to fall out. Unfortunately, we had ours fall out and had a little bit of water damage.
I mean, they've ripped out carpet. They've cut holes in the ceiling, doing everything they can to get.
Pretty much all the entire second floor drywall was gone, carpet. I mean, we're getting through the process. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's dealt with water damage, but it's not fun.
All right.
But sorry to Grizz. I hit her. Him. Trevor, got a name. Okay, I hit Trevor up to get his number and get the giveaway going, and then fell off the face of the earth. So apologies there, but good to see everybody.
So anyway,
Grizz back.
He's picking out his gear, and we're going to get that sent out. So shout out to that man. All right, so going into Glendale, let's talk about prizes that are up for grabs. Levi, if you would please, good sir, let's get some weekly prizes up on the board.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, 7 gear package or spending spree, a Cherubies FXR this week. I got to hand it to him. FXR's got some of just the most poppy standout colors.
Absolutely.
Bridgestone, Fly Racing, Pro Taper, Rhino Power, Scoche, Torque 1 with some grips and levers, and then we've got some Tusk MX tires on there. So remember, support the brands that support fantasy.
Absolutely.
Go to the website, or if you're on the fantasy site, and if you click on the banner, or the link that's on the website, that'll take you to Rocky Mountain's website. That just helps us. It doesn't give anybody any extra money. It just tracks, that people are going to the fantasy site and then using that link to go buy stuff. So, if you remember to, try to do that just so we can show our sponsors, like, look, how many people are going to the fantasy site, and they're going to our website after that. So,
is this a deal, this hour meter? I'm pretty sure that's a deal we've got going on right now.
What do you mean?
On the fantasy website, just $15 for this hour meter? Or is that
hour meter? Yeah, I don't know, but
should have confirmed.
Yeah, go right there to the website.
Pay attention to the fantasy website itself, because often we're putting deals or just sharing what our most recent deals are on there. And anyway, all
of a sudden, Chase's ears just don't look as good. Well, they're falling down. It's the AC unit. We'll figure it out. Anyway,
great.
Okay, so. Yes, we are going into New York. It is the first or second Triple Crown of the year. Oh, we didn't cover grand prizes.
Oh,
how's it looking? How's the battle? Did the points tighten up?
No kidding. I need to check. Again, I forgot about. I'm missing the mark. I forgot about Supercross.
Look at this.
About fantasy standings.
C. Rob 97 with 742 points. Stouter 111 is at 730, almost 729. Ryan's wife is at 724. You had to clarify that. It's Ryan's wife is. I like that.
Look at our.
I wonder how the husband.
SXperts.
How does Ryan feel right now?
How cool is it that the leader of our group is leading the game right now?
I know.
I wonder how many.
Where's
times
C.
that's
Rob
happened,
at, man?
Happened.
I mean, if you're watching this show, comment. Tell us you're watching this show. We'd love to hear that.
If he's taking our advice, he's definitely not leading.
Oh, we're not, dude. I mean, how many points are you at? You gained me by 1 point in the last round.
533.
I'm at 557. So I got you by 34, dude. I'm over a race up.
I would guess that my worst two scores are.
Oh, mine are both, I think, 10-pointers. I've had 2 really bad rounds.
Dude,
so I feel fine.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm not going to drop a whole lot of points.
Well, I beat you by 1 point last time, so.
Yeah.
All right. Quiet. Is that better? That's probably a little better.
It doesn't sound too terrible to me. All right, so Seattle Supercross. Levi, we probably don't have the highlights anymore, right?
No, I don't think we.
No, but anyway, what we got here is a tie in point going into Glendale. Red plates. And I looked, shout out MX Reference. Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't MX Reference. It was somewhere else. But this is the first time through round 11 that we've had a tie in points.
Because usually if it's happened, I think it's happened pretty early on in the season.
Well, I remember Kenny and wasn't Tomac and Roxon tied
I think
going
so.
into Salt Lake in 2020? But that was round 10.
And then 2020, the year of craziness.
So that was that was through round 10 because I remember it was the last 7 rounds. They were tied going into Salt Lake, I believe. Someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong. But then this is like now we're through round 11 rounds with the tie championship, which is freaking awesome.
I hope it keeps going.
If you had to pick one guy right now, who do you think has the edge? Tomac has led 1,000 more laps.
I'm picking Webb because of the consistency that's been there. I would not be surprised if Tomac wraps it up and just finishes it strong, starts winning more. But as far as consistency goes, I still feel like Tomac could have an off weekend here, and Webb has proven that
here's the
doesn't
deal.
happen for him.
I don't quite buy in. Well, so Webb is super consistent. However, I don't quite buy it. So Tomac, he should have passed Webb in the last Triple Crown. Granted, he went down. Can't make an excuse for that. But he would have beat Webb in that race had he not crashed. Like, he was clearly the faster guy.
For sure.
He gets, an 8th there, right? Kind of that weirdo race. Or like 6th
in that main, but
it was like 6th overall, right?
Yeah,
and we're like, okay. But then you look at that 8th place that he had in Indy, and we're like, oh, it's not consistent. It's like he had the neck issue, and he kind of what he said the following weekend is like, I had a neck problem, still dealing with it, and I think he got third the next weekend, and then he goes and wins in Seattle. So I feel like consistency isn't necessarily a problem for Tomac. His starts have been bomb-proof, and he's shown that just like last year in the outdoor motocross season, mentally he went 1-1 at Fox with Chase leading in the first moto, you know?
So you're saying that those issues were legit, and if Tomac's 100%, that
I just don't feel like Webb's consistency is anything that's going to cause him to win the title over Tomac. I honestly feel like it's going to come down to just raw speed. And that's where I like Tomac. You know, he's led way more laps. And I think, you know, if these two are first and second, I would give the nod to Tomac in every scenario that he's going to beat Webb straight up in just a speed battle.
Okay. So you don't see any more off the podium, maybe even outside the top 5 races for Tomac?
No, because being tied, we're round 11 or round 12. They both know, like, I can't just settle for a 4th or a 5th if I'm not happy with how the track is or I just don't feel that comfortable. And at this point, like I said, with Tomac being completely healthy, I just don't think you're going to have any more of those weirdo races, and Webb's in the same boat. So I think we're just going to see these two guys they're not going to maybe win every race, but they're going to be next to each other, right?
For sure. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Well, who knows? They might win out.
That's
We'll get into it.
I would say, should we bet on it? But I'm not 100% sold on Webb. It's just,
we already have a bet for the world's hottest peanut that we got to eat for whoever.
I didn't sign a waiver, but I'll do it. We'll do it.
I voluntold you, dude. It's just,
fair enough.
But if you win, is that
my
much
hands
sweeter,
are tied?
right?
I got voluntold.
Yeah, I don't know. What do we have here?
You know what else I was gonna ask you
Who
when
did
it comes
the
to
big calves pull? Is that Nick Levi?
When it comes to sharing a red plate, I did see some drama or just the opinion that it shouldn't exist. Because what if this happens at the end of the season?
It just goes to who has more race wins,
exactly.
Right?
So
Tomac should be your
really
red points
just
leader.
A media move, yeah, just to get some.
It's cool, but it does help with. Well, it is a media move, but I mean, as far as show in the night show, then you want that, right?
I'm not saying I really have a preference. I just thought that was interesting. I was like, well, because in the case that this
no one's
happened
leading
at the end of the season, no, there technically would be a leader. And so
no, I get you.
It was just interesting to see.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, man, we do have some good racings coming our way because it is going to be a battle, and I'm going to tell you right, it might just come down to the first rider to get just a mid-pack start who's like, I gotta go, and then just riding at 110%, and that causes you to make that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but Tomac's been such a good starter,
and he's so good in Glendale. Like, oh man,
it's hard, dude.
It is hard.
It's super hard. Should we talk about Glendale? Should we look at the track map?
We should get it up there.
Yeah.
First thing I noticed, like Seattle, a long start straight.
I love it.
I do, and I love it because riders don't bunch up as much. They have more time to separate. I feel like they're safer. Yeah, the speeds are higher, but they're safer. I mean, talk about the Austin Faulkner, but
kidding, dude.
But what's that?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say, how are they coming to that whoop section? It's out of that.
It's out of a right-hander.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be jumpers. I've never seen Glendale whoop speed jumpers, but the thing is, like, normally be like, oh, Tomac and those good whoop guys, but man, Webb's been into the whoops this year.
It's
so
fine.
It's not really it looks like a good layout, though. It looks long,
I think you can pass on this.
Fast, flowy. You got good 180 turns. I think it'll be a good racetrack. I think the start's going to be good because it's going to be pretty fair to where, like, it just allows guys to kind of sweep that 180. It's not a 90 where it just funnels and bunches up.
This is what we had 2 weeks ago, right? It's a very similar start in it.
In Seattle, yeah.
It
same thing.
You
can get a good start from more places, whether you're the inside in your guard, if you're outside, you want to sweep around. So I like those starts.
Which shows that I wouldn't be as concerned with qualifying or even heat race finishes, but qualifying mainly for gate pick because Tomac has shown that he can be all the way outside and still do well with these kind of starts.
Well, in Seattle, he went way outside. When everybody went inside, Tomac went way outside and still ripped a good start. Oh, Levi, one more thing. Bring that track map back up, would you? Did you notice a little kind of split lane right there?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, a little. I like those. I think it's cool when guys are doing different rhythms through a lane.
I don't think we've really had one of those this year.
Oh, the only thing I can think of is Daytona doing the split corner lane.
I guess, sure.
But not like actual
a
rhythm lane like that. So yeah,
cool.
I like those. I like the ones where they like I always like the bull turns or the 180s where they jump up onto an elevated turn, then hop back down, kind of like they did
do
Daytona.
They have one of those?
No.
It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Daytona, though. Remember when Webb and Tomac came together? That was like one of those kind of elevated turns a little bit.
They have done some where it's even way more exaggerated.
Yeah, like you jump up onto a ledge. Yeah, I like that stuff.
No, that's a solid track, though.
All right.
Pumped on that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Jamie, can you pull that up? That's right. Best starters in the game. Levi, we got that graphic here. Let's rock it.
Triple crowns included. So this has got everything. And Tomac, I believe, Sexton barely topped him.
You're less than a spot from Sexton to Webb. Even Roxon, he's barely a one spot out from that. So, best starters in the game with triple crowns.
Tomac still.
You think so?
Right.
Yeah.
All I'm curious to see is if we get another stacked heat like we did last race. That was crazy.
Yeah.
To have pretty much the entire top of the field.
The whole top dogs in there.
It was cool.
Yeah, watch qualifying because for those that don't know, the way that they do the heat races is you have the ones, threes, all the odd numbers are on one heat race, and then evens are in the other. Just in case anybody didn't know that.
Nice work, Levi.
Yeah. Best finishers in the game. What do we have there?
Webb. Weebster.
Isn't that crazy that Tomac has a third best average finish? It's just crazy to me how you can win a championship in two different ways.
Speaking of, should we show that this is from MX Reference? He's got some other cool. This guy kills it with
throw it up there
as well. Let's look at the laps led percentages. This is a really interesting. It just puts into perspective how dominant Stewart, Carmichael. This data only goes back to 2003. Let's hit the next so we can see the top of this before we get to the bottom. Come on, Jamie, pull that up.
Well, Jamie, pull up that video.
So,
there we go.
Okay, so what we're looking at is like James Stewart, for example, 2007, when he won the title, there was a total of 320 laps that year. James led 225, so he led 70% of those laps.
He couldn't.
No one's come even close.
Yeah, nobody's coming even close. His next best was 57%.
Which is still crazy.
Which half, yeah. You'll see, because it feels like Tomac is just ever dominant.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy. Let's flip to the next page. Even Dungey was like barely hitting 50%, but Tomac, his first championship in 2020 was only 21% of the laps led.
Wow.
And then his most recent last year was only 25.5%.
I wonder what his percentage was in all those years where he won over, half or more of the races, but didn't win the title.
Say they didn't win the championship. Yeah,
because he probably led more laps in the years he didn't win the title.
This graph is only showing when they won the title, but it just puts it into perspective. Like, I'm not discrediting Eli at all. Like, obviously, he's an incredible rider, and I think he belongs up there with some of the greats. But it really puts it into perspective for you.
You know what I was thinking about though? Tomac is second all time right now. Is he tied with Stewart? He got his 50th, right? Or is he second place all alone?
He's tied with Stewart. I think we have that other page from MX Reference. Shout out to this guy. He's doing our job.
Either way, okay, so say Tomac's second place all time in wins, right? Mm-hmm. This year he's won 6 of the 11 races, over half. It's just kind of crazy because when you compare him to Dungey and Villopoto, if he doesn't win this title, is it like does he just go down as like one of the most dominant guys but just never won as many titles that he should have? James Stewart only won 2 Supercross titles.
Him and Roxon, you were bringing that up earlier. Roxon has also been just
Roxon's only a few laps away, so Roxon doesn't have to lead very many more laps before he passes Dungey for all-time laps led, and he's never won a 450 title.
Sorry, I just wanted to correct that. Donald's wondering why McGrath's not on that. That just goes back to 2003.
Yeah.
So that's why McGrath isn't on there. I'm sure his numbers would be, he would stomp. He'd be up in the 90% for sure.
I don't know. It's just interesting. But, like, people talk about James Stewart being just this untouchable, and I'm not taking anything away from James, but, like, he only won 2 titles.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, like,
no, I get what you're saying.
You know?
But if somebody's going to get that title for being one of the most talented, I wouldn't call Roxon dominant yet, but just fast people to never win a Supercross title.
Oh, for sure. Kenny will go down as
Sexton's in the running for it as well.
I mean, you can't say he's going to win a title,
No, we said that exact same thing about Roxon years ago. So
I know.
Said the same thing about AC.
Kenny will go down absolutely as one of the most talented guys to put a leg over a dirt bike and not win a 450 Supercross title. All right, well, let's get into some stats here.
Maxwell says James Stewart was the fastest and most exciting to watch, and that's without a doubt. Saw a clip of him at Southwick on his Cowie years ago, and there's just so many clips of that guy just getting so crazy.
Yeah, he was so loose. Mm-hmm. But Tomac goes beast mode. Here's the thing, though, with James Stewart is he, on a podcast with Ricky, he said, like, he knew that Ricky had the drop on him in outdoors. Mm-hmm. Like, he was just a better outdoor rider than James was.
Ricky said the opposite, too, though. They knew James was faster in Supercross.
Yeah, so it's like, that's just crazy to me that even James Stewart was like, Ricky was faster than me. Mm-hmm. I think James was just more, like, but those two were so willing to let it hang out, like,
almost too much.
We don't have a rivalry like that anymore where, like, two riders are willing to die to beat the other one.
No kidding.
Because it's like you can't lose to him.
But they're still hauling. Like, this Sexton Tomac feud. It's not as intense when it comes to Webb, though. But, like, Sexton and Tomac in outdoors, they had some quick battles.
And I guess
Fantasy SX, I'm pumped for Moto, dude. Holy. But anyway, I just got to get that out of there.
All right, so we have this little chart that I actually stole from Monster Energy Supercross.
This head-to-head?
Yeah. I guess I put it in the script, but Levi, did you get it up there?
I think you got it.
Oh, well, look at this.
Let's go.
So this is just Tomac versus Webb so far this year. We're going to start diving into some stats here. Look at that. Oh, sorry, this is just Glendale.
Yeah.
Look how good Tomac is at Glendale. He's been there. He's got 4 wins.
What does starts mean? Were you able to figure that out? Why is it 7?
Because Tomac's raced there more times than Webb has.
Oh, so that's just how many times he's raced there.
Yeah, out of 7 times there, Tomac has won over half of them.
I see.
I was on the podium 6 times.
Webb's record is not good.
No, like Tomac's led 83 laps, and then you look at Webb. His start's bad there. His finish is horrible. No wins, no podiums. He's only got 1 top 5. You look at this historical data, and you're just like, why would you bet against Eli Tomac? And Webb's got to know that, right?
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
Tomac's really good on these hard-packed tracks.
Think about how much you remember a track. Like these guys, they remember their history, their race records at these locations. Yeah. How about like because I was surprised that we raced there last year. I had forgotten about that. When was the last time before that? Was it 2020 when Roxon swept it that we raced there? I don't think Glendale's been a consistent.
Well, I don't know if 2020 was even a triple crown. We can look it up. Tomac got second there, I believe, in 2020.
Yeah,
look it up here in just a minute.
Before last year, or maybe we only missed it in 2021. No, it's not super relevant. I was just because Webb. I mean, obviously, when he was on his Yamaha, he wasn't competing that competitive at all. Oh, right. But dude, I don't think I shared this stat from Seattle, the one I sent you when we're talking about Webb's consistency.
Okay,
dude, what does he have? I think 114 450 starts, and he has landed on the podium 53 times out of those.
Oh, you're talking about Webb? Yeah.
No, it was more than that.
Well,
he had over 50% of his 450 starts he has finished on the podium.
Well, you look at his 2 championship years, he was only off the box like 2 races. Like crazy. Outrageous. So Roxon at Glendale had an average finish. His average start was 1.3 and Roxon won Glendale. But then Tomac got second there that year, so he's been stellar in Glendale. Maybe it's a good racetrack for Kenny. Maybe he feels good there. I don't know.
He could. Yeah, he swept a triple crown there.
Let's see. So
sorry, I didn't mean to take you away from that graphic.
Hey,
but
we're here to chit chat.
I have that other Glendale graphic if you want to.
Which other Glendale graphic? Show it up.
I don't even know.
Oh, this is some more Glendale specific information, and also again, shout out to MX Reference.
Yeah, this is one of the things I quoted earlier about Roxon just needing to get a few more laps led over Dunge.
Mm-hmm. MX Reference has a YouTube channel, by the way, too. So go check that out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Cool, follow his Instagram. He's got some sweet, very, very interesting graphs.
So Tomac and Stewart are tied right now at 50.
Wow.
Okay.
Ken Roxon or Cooper Webb can take sole possession of 10th all time, so breaking into that top 10.
That's crazy. Coop's now won just as many races as Kenny has. Man. Let's see. Points. Yeah. Ken Roczen only needs 12 points to pass Ricky Carmichael for 10th all time.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just crazy
I
those
never would've
guys,
guessed.
what they accomplish in like a shorter time frame.
And he's close to. I mean, when did Roczen enter the 450s?
2015 was Anaheim 1 where he won.
So Dungey had like 3 years in 450s before him. I think
Something
Dungey
like
was like
that.
2011 or 2012.
Somewhere around
Because
there,
he's
I
about
can't
to
remember.
pass him. Can we pull that back up, Jamie?
He just calls him Jamie now.
pull up
He's
that
about to pass.
He's about to pass
Dungey.
Dungey in career laps led, assuming he gets a good start. But
And
Ken
what's-
Roczen can do that. He could do that here at Glendale.
But what's insane, though, is he's going to pass Dungey, or could. Dungey won 4 titles.
Yeah.
Such a bummer.
Dungey definitely still has the edge as far as
Yeah.
career, but
Yeah, I do Olympic Bunny years. Okay, so some more stats on Tomac here. So he's won 6 out of the last 11 races. Like, he's led 106 laps. The next closest is Sexton, but he's 27 back of that. His record in Glendale, 1-2-4, 1-1-3.
good stuff.
Last year, he hole-shotted 2 out of the 3 mains, and he has the second best average start. So, I mean, it's hard to bet against that when Webb's numbers are so much worse in Glendale specifically.
Yeah, I've got Tomac to win this
And
weekend.
Tomac's-
I remember last year at Glendale, Tomac didn't have his starts figured out even last year. His first switch to the Yamaha, they definitely got better.
They got better.
But I still remember.
I feel like
at
it
Glendale
started at
specifically.
Glendale.
Yeah, I was like, wow, Tomac just pulled back-to-back hole shots. I remember that was like the first time in a long time.
And then
where he's got
after
a good
that,
start.
it seems like he just kind of stayed where he figured it out, and he's been really good this year,
This
too.
year, it's just been great. So
I
mean, we still have a lot of stats to get through, but I'm already just putting Tomac at top.
But also with Tomac, he's just been like the better Triple Crown racer. He's won more Triple Crowns than anybody else that's actively riding. So I don't know. I mean, with Webb, his record, he's gone 8-4, 10-8-8. So he even had bad races there in his championship years.
Yeah, just a good record.
I mean, yeah, he went 10-8-8. So he had a 10th and an 8th in the years he won his titles. Those are 2 of his worst races. Yeah, he's only led 18 laps. Aaron Plessinger has led more laps than Cooper Webb. Isn't that weird?
That's crazy.
But he's got the second best average finish, or the best average finish. And he's only been off the box twice. Like, that's how you get it done. You just don't finish off the podium.
Dude, we talk about Tomac versus Jet, or we talk about Chase versus Jet, but how about Cooper versus Jet? How do you think that goes down? Do you think if Cooper doesn't win the championship this year, is it for him?
In outdoors?
No, I'm meaning. Well, I'm talking about next
Cooper
Supercross
Webb
season. Cooper Webb versus Jet Lawrence. Do you think if
No. Like, I think there's a possibility, like this whole thing of Webb staying or leaving Red Bull KTM. I think if Webb has an inked-in deal already, if he wins this title, I think it's really hard for him to, it makes it more difficult for him to want to go somewhere else, just because it's like, I just won the title. I'm going to be on the same bike next year. However, that being said, look at what Tomac did, and look what Ryan Villapoto said. He wished he would have changed teams more or done it later in his career. So maybe Webb's just already it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to switch it up. He's going back to, if he does go, he'll go to Star, right? He'll take Tomac's spot with the team he's familiar with and all that stuff.
I mean, look what happened to Tomac, and I don't just mean that Tomac went to Star, but Tomac switched teams, and look what it did.
Completely new outlook, right? And Star is I think Star is I feel like it's like the dad club over there, just because it just seems like the atmosphere at Star is so much more laid back. Like, Rebel KTM is super corporate. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on all these guys, but look at just the different mindset that Tomac has had. He's still winning titles, but he's just more relaxed over there. And I'm sure Webb's probably thinking that's how I want to finish out my career. Maybe is I want to be in that mental state.
Could.
I don't know.
I look at when Webb left Alden for that little bit. Look, it didn't do well for him. Webb seemed to thrive when he's under that strict corporate team management.
But Webb strives when he feels like he has something to prove, right? And then that year, though, he kind of was just like his own program, though, where he wasn't really answering to anybody. I think he was working with Michael Byrne. So Star Racing is going to be a much more well put together program. The only thing, though, and they brought up a good point to this is, who was I thinking of? No, it was Anderson. and there's no way Anderson, because he's a free agent, there's no way Anderson is going to want to go to a team that's in Florida. So like he's like either staying at Cowie or he's probably just going to stay at Cowie.
No kidding.
But on the other hand, sorry, last thing I'll say.
No, you're good.
I'm just saying Webb's not going to retire. But if Sexton, the rumor mill is true, he is going to Red Bull KTM, I don't see that Webb would want to stay there with Sexton because they're bringing Sexton in because they know that he is the next guy. And I don't think Webb just wants to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Okay.
Anyway.
Dude, Bam Bam Barcia.
Oh, he's
have we learned our lesson yet?
To keep him in your top 5?
Or is he just is he a podium guy from here on out? What?
It just comes down to what's happening with Sexton because it's Tomac and Webb every single time, and then it really just comes down to whether Sexton muffs it up or not, whether Barcia gets up into the top 3.
Yeah. I mean,
but Triple Crown,
his starts are good. He's showing speed. Look, he's got his last 4 finishes are 3, 4, 2, 4. But I looked back of all the years.
Wow.
He has never won a single main event in a Triple Crown. So out of like 15 gate drops, he's never won one of them.
When I think Triple Crown, I think of this go-go attitude that you have to have or race style. I feel like that's where Bam Bam would thrive, is it not? Short, just got to set a hot lap. I feel like that's where Bam Bam would do well, but that's just really surprising, I guess, is what
if he can get his starts figured out, I think this could be Justin's chance at winning one of these main events. Like one of the better chances, right? I mean, only thing that concerns me are his starts just because his average gate drop right now, it's 7.6.
Sheesh.
So I don't know. I mean,
that's what's hurting.
And let's be honest, if Barcia is out leading and Tomac is in second, as long or vice versa, as long as they have a gap, no one's gonna Webb and Tomac, especially Barcia, because Barcia wants to win bad. If he's out in front and you're Tomac or Webb and you're behind him, as long as Tomac or the other's not about to pass you, you're probably not going to press too hard.
Unless Tomac's just feeling it. If he's just feeling it like he did in Seattle, he's that Tomac, I see him just saying, see it, because I feel like it does him more harm to ride reserved and not push.
I agree.
Than to just get past Barcia.
I feel like at this point, like unless it's absolutely necessary, I think Tomac and Webb aren't even necessarily thinking race wins, more just like
beating each
where's
other.
my rival at right now.
I think you're right.
But maybe I'm wrong. Hey, there's no better cure to win a championship than just to win all the races, right?
Nope.
Okay.
But that's hard. I guess we'll get back to him when we lock him in, but I have a hard time putting him on the podium. I do.
Really?
But he's definitely going to be in the top
5.
You
know what confidence does to a man? And Barcia, at this point, he knows, like, not only do should I be on the podium, but I should win one of these. I should win races.
Confidence. This guy is the most confident guy with having all this crap go down. He still remains like...
We just watched his Dirt Shark, get it?
Yeah, I've watched it a few times. It's respect.
Okay. What do you... I mean...
Dude, same story, different day. I mean, this guy hauls ass, and it's just hard to put him in front because he just can't keep it together. So...
Okay, what's worse? I had this question in here. Fans, help us out here. If you're watching, maybe we do a poll. Just put, what's worse, Tomac, Sexton? Sexton is clearly the fastest guy racing this year. There's no doubt about it. He is qualifying by over a second or a second faster than anyone else. He's led more main events probably than everybody else, but he's only got 2 wins. He's not going to win this title. So what's worse? What theoretically, Sexton, fastest man on the planet right now, not going to win the title, looks bad, or Tomac, who has won 6 out of 11 races so far, but doesn't end up winning the title. What looks worse, Sexton or Tomac?
I think they're equally as bad, and it's just Webb is just laughing at them the entire time with 18 laps led over the entire season.
I'm just going to podium my way to $1 million.
Podium you to death. It's crazy.
But
what's worse between those two? I would say Tomac's because Sexton isn't necessarily...
It's only his second year.
Yeah, it's only his second year. Tomac, like we've said, has kind of had that same history. Tomac he has the red plate. He's tied with the red plate. He's still in the running for it. For him to throw it away this far into it, I think that's worse.
Because it's like Sexton doesn't have all the wins that Tomac had, say, in 2017, 2016, but he's clearly been the fastest guy. So Tomac's been there. Just the difference is Tomac won a bunch of races, but he also had all those really bad weirdo races. So it's kind of like the same thing. So maybe Sexton figures this thing out like Tomac did and just kind of, I don't know, figures it out. But
it's not over till it's over.
It's not.
Richard, and it's true.
But I'll tell you what, though, I don't think Webb cares about those wins because that $1 million bonus check.
Care.
Well, that's just it. Don't they win $1 million from like Feld or like?
Yeah,
that you win the Supercross title, you get $1 million from like Supercross, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get your $1 million.
I mean,
OEM bonus or whatever
around there.
So you're winning multiple $1 million when you win a Supercross title.
Absolutely. But shouldn't it be more than that?
Isn't it? Doesn't it suck how like underrated our sport is?
Like these
compared
guys are so prestigious in relation to just your average Joe who plays this races, and it's just the money's just not because you see numbers of salaries for other sports, and it's just absurd.
Oh, I know.
It's absurd,
and it's strange too because take baseball for example. You go to a baseball game and majority of the fans that are watching those baseball games probably have never played baseball.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them did, right? And same thing goes for Supercross.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, like, man, I guarantee you if all these fans that are watching a baseball game, let's say there's 40, well, I don't know, because like Anaheim won, dude, turns out like 40,000 people. It's just the viewership at home, right?
Yeah. No.
That's really the biggest difference.
It's hard because the first thing that we compare it to is the stick and ball sports or just whatever. But then compare it to other motorsports even. It's
like MotoGP, it's nowhere close. Formula
One and NASCAR, other motorsports, rally.
Yeah.
It's still not even as close. So I'm like, is it just dirt bikes, period?
Does Red Bull just need to do some bangerang video
people
series like they did?
That.
Yeah, like they did for Formula One.
A Drive to Survive for Supercross would.
Is that what the Formula One was called?
I think Drive to Survive.
Drive to Survive.
Fantastic.
Like, look how many more fans that brought to the sport that were like knew about it, maybe heard about it, but now they're just like every time there's a race on, they're just like that's all they would care about.
Curtis says pickup yard sports are just more accessible, and I agree. Like they're more accessible, you can get into it, but I mean, like what we're saying is with baseball, not everybody's playing baseball that watches it. Football, everything is that way, and not everybody that's
and who doesn't like watching
watches Supercross races Supercross.
Right? Like, I don't know.
It's tough. Formula One. Do you know how prestigious that sport is, or it takes so much to get into it? I don't know, we're going down a rabbit hole here, but it just does kind of suck to see how intense this is, how much work they put into this, how it's like once in a lifetime that you see talent such as Sexton or Jed or Tomac, and then the reward is just nowhere near what.
I mean, if you took like a Peyton Manning, some of these high-profile athletes from other sports, like Tomac, he just won the Emmy, right?
Yeah.
Like, if they saw Tomac and they like saw what he's done, and then they saw like how much he gets paid, and he is the number one athlete in his whole genre, they would just be like, "What?
Yeah,
like that's it? Like
that's basically
no way."
Yeah, in short, it's to be the best and still have nowhere near the reward. It's crazy.
That's all right, though.
It's too expensive for the average person to get into.
Look at dude.
Again. Well, I know that like. To get into it, sure. And, well, maybe it is relevant because to be interested in it, most of the time you have to have somewhat participated in it. Like, it's hard for the average person to relate to them, I guess, if they've never tried it. So it is relevant, but there's so many people who, I mean, think about, now we'll go down a huge rabbit hole with obesity, this, that, and how many people watch football and they don't play it. They don't. Anyway, I could go wherever. I'm getting pissed.
All right,
Buddy's down the rabbit hole. Can somebody change the title of this episode
to Kobe's mental breakdown?
I'm getting red.
Okay, let's switch gears here. Where are you going to put Chase Sexton this week? Are you even going to care about his qualifying time? Like, does he need to be on the podium?
I'm putting him. I'm going to put him in third just because I think he'll average it out.
Oh yeah, because you have
him on
three,
the ground,
right?
But I'm just going to average it out. I'm not putting him to win. I'm going to be boring here with the Tomac, Webb, Sexton, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. So the fans disagreed though. They 64% had Sexton as it's worse. It's a worse look on him to just be the fastest guy. And okay.
It's. I can see both sides to it.
All right. Aaron Plessinger, weirdo race last week, I would say, or 2 weeks ago. Just kind of rolled around in 7th or 8th and
Plessinger?
didn't really do much.
That's why we're almost down to our wild card segment. It's like,
it's
Plessinger could be either. He could be up front competing to win this thing, or I could very well see him landing on our wild card.
Let's do wild card watch because it's 8th place.
8th place.
And there's like, I feel like, okay, of the Christian Craigs who we have up here, we got Craig, AC, Justin Hill. Of these riders, I feel like AP is definitely the better of them right now. You know,
absolutely.
It's not even a question. Yes. He is. So he could be there, but it is a Triple Crown, and that is always going to mix things up because AP could go out and win one of these mains.
Definitely.
These other 3 riders, no, I wouldn't bank on it.
He could have won 2 of these mains with the equivalent of lap sled at, where was that, Indy?
Dude,
no, not Indy.
No, that was Detroit.
How do I forget where?
Was that not just the most heartbreaking thing still?
Anyway.
So AP could be there. I mean, his last, he's raced in several, just the only stat I found where I was like, It is crazy to believe he's only had 1 podium this year. So just on the box once. He's raced in 7 Triple Crowns and has never finished better than 5th in a single main.
That's not good.
Yeah. That's out of a lot of starts. Yeah. 7 Triple Crowns, that's 21 gate drops, and he's never gotten better than 5th in any single one. His average finish is a little over 6, average starts 6. I feel like is a little bit hit or miss on his starts.
He's definitely hit or miss on his starts.
He's not as consistently.
But I feel like, because you're saying over the course of his entire 450 career, he's never finished better than 5th in a single Triple Crown main. But this is somewhat a different Plessinger.
Different AP?
I think he's going to improve those stats. Definitely, I would not be surprised to see him finish better than 5th in one of these things.
Yeah.
So
okay. Was Detroit really ruddy?
It's fairly ruddy. I mean, that's kind of what threw him off.
The only other thing I could think of is Glendale is like the most hard-packed track of the year. You don't get ruts. It gets really slick.
I mean, dude, did we just skip over Ando? We don't even have Ando in the top contenders. How crazy is that? We just forgot about him. But when you start talking about hard pack, let's
get Ando up here, though. I can get him up real quick.
Because if he's going to do it anywhere, it's probably somewhere like Glendale, right? He said he's not going to Florida. He likes that West Coast drive.
He's just one of those guys, though, where it's like you can't put him on the top step unless you're just like you're really trying to make up points and hoping that you, on a whim, get it right and everyone else gets it wrong.
Well, because I'm not saying Anderson's going to win this thing. Here, I'm
struggling with Excel right now.
Because are you going to surprise me and say that you've got something other than these 3 in your podium? These are your podium, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, this is your podium, right? In some form or fashion?
Some form or fashion. That's going to be it. Look, Anderson is gone. Dude, this is bad.
But I'm just... Anderson, I'm just bringing him up for the 4th place, the 5th place.
Okay,
spot.
Outside of Anderson's main win that he had in the last Triple Crown where he won one of the mains, Oakland. Because Oakland was a Triple Crown. He has not finished on the box overall since Houston, dude. That was round 5. Anderson has not podiumed since round 5. Yeah, look at it right here.
A 9th in Detroit.
Yeah, he went down.
Oh, yeah.
So he has not podiumed since round 5.
And before that, it was round 4, Triple Crown, and that's it. He only has 2 podiums this year. Yikes. He has one.
So Anderson is off my box.
Yeah, he's definitely
entirely. No. Take a bite out of your book, dude.
Sheesh.
Take a page out of that book.
Yeah.
Anderson is off my podium until this man can start doing it again.
Jeez. So yeah, I mean, while you say that, I'm having the realization that these 2 are definitely
in your top 5.
In your top 5, and for that 4th place spot before Anderson for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm feeling a little frisky this weekend where I might even put Barcia ahead of Webb. Because I feel like raw speed.
So you're going something like like this?
In Seattle, Barcia was catching Webb at the very end. You give him another couple laps, he probably passes Webb.
Webb is not.
Yeah.
It's not the speed.
It's,
it's the consistency.
It is the consistency. I agree, but Barcia's kind of figured this thing out lately, and Sexton hasn't.
Dude, why you got to do me like that? Now
and then Craig, so when we go back to wild card here, his last 6 finishes, Seattle's kind of a bust because he went down in one of the opening laps. So he has gone 9-6, 7-10, 8-7. So he's only finished better than 7th once. So I don't know. I mean, Craig's got some momentum. He won that heat race in Seattle.
But, dude, it doesn't matter where he starts. It doesn't matter if he wins this heat. He is around this spot every single time. So, Craig is probably.
AC, right? And Craig.
So is AC. But, those two. We'll get to AC.
And here's the thing. This might help you know if Craig's like a good pick for a top 5. Craig has only finished more than 3 spots from where he's qualified one time this year.
So he's qualifying near his.
So out of 11 races, in 10 of those, he has qualified between 6th and 10th.
Jeez.
And he just finishes in that window. He finishes in 6th to 10th. Like that's his cup of tea.
So you're saying unless he's qualifying 4th,
if he's like second or first, tops the board, to be like, dude, Craig's tonight's the night where he finally kind of breaks out of that bubble and gets his first top 5 or something. So just be on the lookout for that.
I don't see it happening this week.
But his average finish is 9 for the year.
And you got to remember, too, it's the average counts here at the Triple Crown because you get caught up and forget that, there's 2 more main events after this one because you're always paying attention to who's in the wild card. The wild card's tough. The whole thing is tough as far as results go when it comes to fantasy because you don't get the results until the very end, even at the finish.
They tell you about where the top 3 are, maybe.
If you're paying attention,
but from 4th to 5th and out, you're just like, I have no idea.
But the top 5 podium is tough, let alone the wild card.
Yeah.
So, but just keep in mind, I think Craig, when it comes to averaging 3 consecutive main events, he's a solid average of 8th place.
See, that's the hard part. It's like, you're right. You have to take 3. It's not one race. He's got to do it. He's got to be consistent 3 times. How about AC, though? Because this man probably going to rip a couple good starts.
At least
his fitness is getting better, right?
Yeah.
Honestly,
shorter main. Maybe he can hold on to it longer.
I honestly would put AC ahead of Craig. Just because his starts are so good.
Ahead of Craig as far as where he finishes or better pick for the wild card?
Ahead of where he finished. I'd put Craig in the wild card over AC just because AC is much more likely to rip the good start and then drop back a little bit. But these are 12-minute main events versus 20. So fitness, I would assume, is not going to really be an issue for him. And I just think that this could be the night where AC maybe lands somewhere in the top 5.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, looking at it, dude, I'd probably go Justin Hill. We got him.
You'd go with Justin Hill. I did want to mention before we go away from AC that he has finished 8th in the past 2 rounds, and he was 6th the round before that in Indy when he had a good ride. So he's, as far as stats go or actual finishes, that's where he's at. But, like you're saying, Justin Hill. So if we put up the numbers, do we even have a stat graphic for Hill? I don't even think we do.
Well, I'm going to read off his stats right now.
You read off his stats, and at first, when you first hear it, you're going to go, well, that's nowhere near the wild card. But there's so many people around the 8th place average that aren't racing anymore. You
look at this, though.
Justin Cooper and Hampshire and Ferrandis and Muscan. Their home is that 8th place spot, so you got to go deeper. You got to go further back.
Yeah, look, Hill is gone. His last 3 races, he was 9th in Indy, then 7th Detroit, and then 10th in Seattle.
Dude, if that's your 3 finishes in a Triple Crown,
you're
putting 8th. Yeah.
You're right there. You're probably going to be right in that bubble. 8th. So Justin Hill's looking really good. And even before that, he went 10-12. He is consistently around that position and given 3 main event gate drops. He's going to be right in that mix. And after Justin, you get to the Josh Hills and then some of those more privateer-esque riders like a Moran.
I think Justin is holding up the rear of
I would say Josh is the last rider, the next guy. I would say you go AC Craig, Josh Hill, and Justin Hill. Those
I agree.
Yeah, because Benny Bloss, you're he hasn't really. No.
When you're averaging these 3 main events, I don't think you can go.
I think those are your 4 guys that you got to choose from.
I think it's safer to go off stats for this wild card here at a Triple Crown for sure.
We're going to eat our words, but I would say if it's not one of those 4, it's because somebody has a weirdo. One of the main events goes completely bad for one of your other top dudes.
Dude, so we got Richard in here. Who was it? I want to give them.
Who said
Carter Burnside. Dude, what are we doing? We forgot about the Banana Man.
Got Kenny in there. The Banana Man. Sorry, we get so caught up and we skip around a little bit. Okay, what are you going to do with Kenny?
What am I going to do with Kenny?
Yeah.
I'm going to go, dude, there's too many of you to fit in this top 5. What do I do? But Roxon could do very well this weekend. Levi, what you got?
Triple Crown King.
Yeah, he's great. Him and Tomac probably have the best track record.
The last time we did one of these in Glendale, Kenny won it.
It wasn't a triple. No, Tomac won it last year.
No, I'm saying the Triple Crown.
It wasn't
Because last year, and then we didn't do it in 21 and in 2020.
So 2020, yeah.
Oh, sorry, two times ago.
Exactly. Roxon
right.
went 1-1-1 in 2020 here.
Like just domination.
Yeah. I remember that was such a special night for him because that was like one of his first comebacks since, his
Yeah, he got his first win, and like, where was that? It was, oh gosh.
But then to go 1-1-1 is just crazy.
Yeah, he crushed it. Let's see. I mean, Kenny, I don't know what you do with him because
I'm putting him in my top 5. I'm pissed that I forgot about him. This is tough.
I don't know because look, and going back to Daytona, right? He got 7th in Daytona, and then he won Indy, but then he got 5th in Detroit, and he got 6th in Seattle. But his starts have been good though because he started 8th in Daytona, whole shot at Indy, 6th place start in Detroit, 2nd in Seattle. But look at his starts in the Triple Crowns this year. I mean, he went 2-2-7 at Anaheim 2, and then 2-6-7.
Where did he start in Seattle with the long start straight like this? How was he doing?
In Seattle, he started 2nd. He was up there.
We've got SS Garage is saying,
and I think
the 5th behind Barcia.
The shorter races favor Kenny. I think the shorter format favors
do.
Kenny.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this.
Are you doing
here.
your picks right now?
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying not to forget people. Is what I'm doing.
Let's go.
Oh,
but
it's because there's so much to talk about.
There's plenty. There's too much. Anderson's on the floor. I don't want to pick him up, but then you got Plessinger to fit in here too, and Anderson. This is tough. This is very tough.
Yeah.
But
what we were doing is I was like, man, like top 5 picks are easy, but I was like, nah.
The hard part, I don't know. I'm pretty confident in this. I'm going to eat my words, but I'm pretty confident in the top 3. It's this 4th and 5th place spot. I like Roxon in 5th. I think it's the 4th place spot that I'm struggling with.
Krista's got Kenny for 2nd.
Holy.
SoCal Redneck says KR Sprint Banana. Let's see here. You have to go by his Triple Crown stats, not the other races. True. I mean, Kenny's been good.
Kinda. I would compare it more to what's the similar track style. Like, that's why I was bringing up Seattle. Like, we had the same start, essentially. He fared well. He was good.
Yeah. I mean, dude. Yeah, Kenny. Look at qualifying. If Kenny qualifies really, really good, like, I'm not afraid to put him in my top 5. I would choose him over like an Anderson, or you know what I mean?
That's
or
how I'm feeling.
I mean,
and Plessinger.
And probably I'd choose him over AP.
I think so. I think
like if you're taking 3 races, I feel like this is probably your top 5 in any specific order. Ando could very easily land in there. We know that. He could probably win one of these things, but he's been more inconsistent with Sexton.
On the ground.
Okay.
On the ground. I think that's it for me.
Are those your picks?
I think those are my picks.
Like you just did it? What about your wild card? Who are you going to go with? Should I just do it for you? Here's Justin Hill. You know you want it. What?
I think I'm going to do Craig.
Oh. Ooh. Okay.
Cripple Trowns? Wow, dude. A long show. Oh, nice.
Levi's pointing cameras over here. I love that. Okay. All right.
Triple Crowns just sucks, says Beta 2 Stroke.
No way. I freaking love them.
I have mixed feelings about them. Sometimes I like them. Sometimes I don't. I hate them when the track is bad. But if we had a good racing track like we do this weekend, I'm actually really excited for it. But
I only don't like them when somebody settles because they know they've got it in the bag. I guess that's like, but at the same time, like, I don't think it matters whether it's a Triple Crown race or a main event. If you're Tomac or Webb and you're in 3rd place and the other guy behind you is in 6th, you're not going to push to win. Same thing goes in a Triple Crown. It's like, if you got it locked up, and I think Triple Crowns are cool because I feel like in some situations it gives other riders a chance to get a main event win or win one of the mains.
You'd think, but he's never done it. AP's never done it.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Roxon's done it plenty. These guys are asking.
Anderson's a past champ. Pick him up off the floor.
I didn't do this, by the way.
I did it. Okay. What? What are you putting up there?
It wasn't me.
Secret notes?
It wasn't me.
What
They've been
is this?
asking about it.
Chase has small calves. Oh my gosh, dude. I am just the victim over here.
I'm sorry. Can you guess who that was?
Aaron, dude. All right, let me do my picks here. I have to go with Tomac like you because he is the Triple Crown master. He's figured these things out, and he's just so good in Phoenix. How do you bet against that? But you know what, dude? Here's where I mix it up a little bit.
Oh, do you?
Oh my gosh, dude. I mean,
Triple Crown.
Triple Crown. Fudge, dude. How do you not put Webb in second place? I mean, just because consistency, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what? I got to gain some points on you. And if we just pick the same guys, like, what good is that going to do? I got to extend my points lead here. So I'm going to go.
I got one more point than you last time, dude.
I'm going to go Sexton second. I'm going to go, gosh, man.
What are you doing?
Dude, just, I'm going
to
go.
He hasn't had a bad history there.
I'm going to go Barcia third just because he's rolling.
Have fun with your peanut.
He doesn't give a crap about any sort of championship battle that's going on. I think Kenny's a solid pick for fifth just because his starts have been so good. And I'm going to go Justin Hill for 8th place overall. Right. And I feel like we're going to see a Craig or an AC or a Plessinger land in the top 5 in one of these and kind of mix it up a little bit.
I feel like your mouth's going to be burning after you eat a hot peanut.
Hey, 6 races to go, dude. Whose picks are better?
Should we get Levi's on here? Levi, come step up. Come around here. Give him your picks. Levi's probably beating both of us, right?
Levi has a mic. Levi.
I know, but come set up the plates.
Levi, who has better picks?
I'm gonna say Chase has better picks.
You sucker.
Thank you.
Why?
I like that.
Tell me why.
Whose picks are better? They put
He's got
Levi's
bigger calves, man.
I mean,
true.
Facts don't lie.
It's true.
Okay. We choose facts over feelings around here, okay?
Where is Levi in the RM Gambling Addicts group? What's your name, dude?
I don't know, man.
What's your name?
I don't know. He doesn't want you to see his score.
Okay, you're definitely beating him. I think I'm beating him too.
Oh,
whatever. I'm definitely beating you.
No,
Kobe.
what is your score? What's your name?
Levi was like,
you know what it is. Think real hard.
Zin something.
Zin Levi.
Justin Barcia?
No.
Justin.
What?
Levi.
Jimmy Zindrix?
Synergy.
Wait, do I got to dig for this guy?
Bottom. All I know is Levi was getting some serious emotional damage earlier in the year. He kept picking like Kenny to win and stuff. Holy. All right, look.
He won once, okay?
He did.
So,
did you have him to win when he did?
Moto Mama, that's a great point. She says I have more picks than Chase and Kobe, so I pick mine.
Krista, what's your picks? Tell me. I'll copy him right now.
Who?
Krista says that
Moto Mama said that.
Oh, Moto Mama.
Says I have more picks than both of us, so she'll pick hers. Rick, you
tell me what day is.
Glendale Cripple Crown. All right. Hey, here's a question. How many times are they going to call Jet Hunter in the broadcast? Drinking game?
Imagine what happens when they race each other.
Oh, goodness. They aren't going to know. They're going to say Laura's brother, the older brother, is now ahead of the younger brother. All right.
I bet Kobe presses hard in the gym to catch up to Chase's calves. There's no point, dude. I'm a twig. It would take me forever. I'd have to get injections to keep up with
just get
Chase's
synthol,
calves.
dude. Put some oil in those things.
Right in my calves? No, that's never happening. Sorry, I'm a twig.
All right,
that's the only reason I can last in here with no AC with a puffy coat on is because I have barely any meat on my bones.
Oh, man. All right, Beta 2-Strokes got Tomac, Sexton, Webb, Barcia, Ken, AC for the wild card. All right. Well, look, there you have it. Look, we're running out of time here. We don't want to keep you much longer. It's been a fun show. Did not have a caller this week. I tried, dude. I mean, Axel Hodges is calling in next Thursday. It's confirmed. Yep. Jeremy Martin, just timing couldn't call in. And Austin Faulkner, he's probably not watching this, but
Dysana says, but Kobe faster than all of us on a bike, and he's right.
I mean,
he's right.
Kobe and I battled pretty hard the last time we were on the moto track.
We should go ride some single track.
Some single track or Dez, I will let Kobe just go away. He can have it.
No, but Chase and I do have some good battles. Dude, I'm pumped.
Some of the
Let's
best
get rid of this snow. Let's go freaking ride some moto.
We're going to have an SXperts moto battle,
We're
dude.
throwing the GoPros on. We got all the angles. We'll get some Instacam 360s.
I like that. We're going to have an SXperts moto battle where it matters on the track. Hare and Hound? Okay. We need to do a works race, too, and have a NGPC Bunker Hill.
Oh, that'd be a great one.
Okay. I like it.
I have an
car
excuse,
now.
No matter what, though, because I'm on a 250F.
That's true. I have an excuse. I'm 38 years old. All right. Look, everybody, make sure to go to RMFantasysX.com. If you're watching the show for the first time, it is free to play. You just make your top 5 picks after you create an account and the wild card. And, if you start right now, you're out of it for the grand prizes at the end of the year, which we'll show here in a moment. But you can win a weekly prize every week. We give out 10 sponsored prizes, plus 90 Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com gift cards. So 100 prizes each week. A lot of cool stuff. Link to the Discord is in the description.
Memes coming. That was not the last giveaway we'll do. Let's see. And we got 6 more rounds. I'd like to say that we can fit at least 2 more giveaways.
Well, we'll see what we can do there. I like it. Maybe I want to try and get some signed jerseys for the people from athletes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've had that in the past. So I'm gonna try and rustle up some good stuff to give away to everybody. So
yeah, 2-stroke. Sorry, just speaking of Hare and Hounds, I want to shout him out. He said he took first. I'm guessing at the latest Idaho Hare and Hound. So
nice,
congrats, dude. Nice work.
All right. Yeah, 7 Deuce Deuce. We need to get. Has he called in? I don't think he has.
Not this year, at least. But
okay.
As far as memes, we're not sharing any today. We're pooling them up.
We're gathering some. I saw some really start to pour in though, like last second today. So
it's freaking awesome.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Tell us where you're at in the Discord. You know, I'm on there on Saturdays if I can, and I'm there chatting with everybody. It's cool to see that, so make sure you go there. And as always, subscribe to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're going to be back here after a fun weekend of racing on Monday to do it all over again.
And happy Easter.
All right, we'll see you later.
See you guys. Good luck. Oh, yeah, my bad. Oh, shoot.
Just crap.